Hello and welcome to another edition of Cooking Technique Tuesday. So I'm still cooking one-handed. This week though, I thought I'd do something a little different because I was at the farmer's market and I got some Delicata Squash. So Delicata Squash, delicate rind. Basically, that's how it got its name. It's a winter squash. The rind is actually edible. So what I'm going to do is cut this up into like moon shapes, and I'm going to roast it until it's caramelized and toss it with some of our fabulous WW yellow lentil penne pasta, arugula, and blue cheese. So the squash that I'm going to roast is going to be mixed together with olive oil, roasted red pepper flakes, a little salt and pepper, and garlic as well. So it's going to be very, very tasty. I love Delicata squash. It's a great source of fiber, potassium, and not all of you might have tried it, so I thought it would be kind of fun to do something a little different. So if you go to your local farmer's market, Whole Foods, Sprouts, and places should have it as well. But I'm really excited to make this today because I love the idea of the pepperiness of the arugula with the earthiness of the squash and the blue cheese. Oh, it's going to taste so good. And also, can't go wrong with pasta. And the yellow lentil pasta is gluten-free, so just a heads up on that. So I am going to cut the Delicata squash off camera because no one needs to see me struggling with that. So I'll come back and we'll put it all together because actually really once this cooks and the pasta cooks, you just toss it all together. So I'm excited. I'll see you in a few. Alrighty, I just wanted to show you what the inside of the Delicata squash looks like. So as you can see, it looks like pretty much any other squash. Might remind you just a little bit of a pumpkin, right? So this again is a winter squash. So I'm going to slice these up. As you can see, it kind of makes nice little moon shapes just the way it is. And again, the rind is delicate enough. So I'm going to get the innards out with a spoon, which should be interesting with a broken wrist. And then slice them up. Toss them with that olive oil, which is high in monounsaturated fats, a little salt, a little pepper, red pepper flakes, and then I'm going to roast it. So I'll see you after we're done with that. Alrighty, and we are back. So I have my pasta that is still steaming hot. In fact, it's kind of fogging up my glasses. I have my roasted Delicata squash and my arugula, and also I measured out my reduced fat blue cheese with my wonderful WW food scale that I always keep out. So I'm going to add the squash first, just because there's a little bit of juice in there, a little bit of olive oil in there. I'm going to toss it, whoop, there we are. Can't forget your utensils. So let me toss it around just a little bit. And then the arugula is going to wilt a little bit from the heat of both the squash and the pasta. Now it calls for 5 ounces. You don't have to quite use 5 ounces of the arugula. It's totally up to you. It will cook down, or it'll shrink in size, I should say, as it cooks just a little bit from the heat of everything. It smells fantastic. Oh my goodness. That's starting to wilt a little. I'll put another handful in before I add the blue cheese. And I think, honestly, I think that's enough arugula for my taste. So I probably ended up using maybe about 3/4 worth. So I'll push it over to the side. I might add it as I reheat. You could also use this as a slightly chilled, close to room temperature pasta salad as well. So I'm gonna add the blue cheese. Oh yeah. And you could use feta. I should mention that. Not everyone likes blue cheese. And guess what? That is okay. That's one of the beautiful things about WW and recipes in general, really. We can always make things fit our taste buds. So I'm just gonna keep tossing it, churning it. I really just wanna make sure that the pasta gets coated. If you wanted to add a little bit of olive oil to it after it cooks, you don't need it in the water with it, but you could add a little bit of that since we're not really doing much of a sauce necessarily with it. Alrighty. Now, 2 cups is a serving size for this, and it should serve 6. So I'm going to do kind of an approximation just because I'm one-handed. Usually I'd be a little more accurate, but there we go. Get a little mixture of everything in. Ouch. There we go. Okay. I'm going to make that look a little bit prettier here in a few, but ooh, that looks very, very tasty. Gorgeous. Alrighty, I'm gonna try it. Gotta make sure I have some blue cheese, Delicata squash. A little more pasta. Oh yeah, the red pepper flakes, especially with the Delicata, Really do give it a nice little kick. 10 out of 10 would make again. So I just thought it would be a fun fall dish. Delicata squash, arugula, blue cheese. Remember, you can use feta. And our wonderful yellow lentil penne pasta. So try it, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next Cooking Technique Tuesday.